Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the engine that really powers the modern subscription economy. It's called SAP BRIM. Now, have you ever stopped to think how a company can possibly bill for, say, millions of individual data streams or API calls and do it all in real time? It's one of the biggest, most complex challenges in business today, and we're about to break down the incredible machine built to solve it.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the big challenge at the heart of this whole subscription world. Then we'll introduce SAP BRIM as the answer. After that, we're going to follow a single transaction from beginning to end, and finally, we'll connect it all back to how this kind of tech really unlocks brand new ways of doing business. Let's get into it.
You know, for decades, business was pretty straightforward. You sell a product, you get paid once. Simple. But today, the world has changed. We're now in an economy that's built on ongoing relationships, on subscriptions, and on pay-as-you-go services. And this shift from just a single sale to a continuous conversation with the customer, well, it creates a massive billing headache.
And that really brings us to the core question, doesn't it? How on earth do you manage this incredible complexity? We're not talking about sending a few hundred invoices a month. We're talking about calculating charges for millions, sometimes billions, of tiny little usage events where each one might have totally different pricing rules, and you have to do it instantly.
This huge problem really breaks down into a few key challenges. First, you've got the sheer volume. We're talking millions of events every single day. Then you have ridiculously complex rules, mixing one-time fees, recurring fees, and usage fees all at once. Everything needs to be priced in real time, right as it happens. Then you have to somehow consolidate all of that into one single, easy-to-understand invoice. And maybe most importantly, the system has to be super flexible so you can launch new offers in a snap. Let me tell you, your old-school billing systems, they just can't keep up.
So when you're faced with a challenge that big, you need a totally new kind of engine. And this is exactly where SAP BRIM comes into the picture. It's not just another billing system. No way. It's a comprehensive solution, designed from the ground up for this high-volume, super complex world.
So, what is it, officially? SAP BRIM is basically a full suite of applications that covers the entire journey, from the moment a customer clicks sign up all the way to the final cash collection. It's not just a billing tool. Think of it as the complete order-to-cash process, handling everything from the contract itself to the final entry in your financial books.
Okay, so BRIM is really built on 4 core pillars, 4 key players working together. It all starts with Subscription Order Management, or SOM. This is what holds the customer's contract. Next up is Convergent Charging, or CC. This is the brain of the operation, the real-time engine that prices every single event. Then you have Convergent Invoicing, or CI, which acts as the central collection point, gathering all those charges together. And finally, there's Financial Contract Accounting, FICA, which is the specialized high-volume bank where all the money is actually managed.
So how do all these pieces actually work together? Well, the best way to really understand BRIM is to just follow a single transaction on its journey, from the second a customer places an order until it becomes an item that's ready to be put on an invoice.
All right, so the whole process kicks off in SOM with a subscription contract. As the customer starts using the service, that usage data flows over to CC. CC applies all the pricing rules and spits out something called a rated consumption item. Finally, CI takes that rated item and standardizes it, and the output here is a billable item. And this term is absolutely key. It's the fundamental unit of value that flows through the rest of the entire system.
So everything gets started in SOM. You can think of this as the system of record for what the customer actually signed up for. It captures who they are, what service they bought, and all the commercial terms of the deal. This becomes the master contract that governs everything else that's about to happen.
Next, all the action moves over to Convergent Charging. As the customer uses the service, raw usage data, the system calls these consumption items, are fed directly into CC. This thing is a seriously powerful calculator. Using these complex rule sets called charge plans, it figures out the exact price for every single event, turning that raw data into actual monetized information.
You know, eventually, all roads lead to convergent invoicing. This is the central hub where everything comes together. You've got the rated usage from CC, you've got recurring subscription fees, they all land right here, and they're all transformed into that standard format we talked about, the billable item. At this point, what we have is a clean, monetized list of every single charge that needs to go on a customer's invoice.
Okay, so now we have all our billable items collected in one place. But the journey's not over yet. We still need to create that final customer-facing invoice, and, just as important, we need to record it all in the financial system.
Now, this is a really crucial distinction, and honestly, it can be a bit confusing at first. So first, the billing process inside CI groups all those billable items into an internal document called a billing document. Think of this like a draft or a pre-invoice. Then, the invoicing process takes one or more of those billing documents and creates the final customer-facing invoicing document. This is the official bill that gets sent out, the one with all the proper formatting and legal text.
The second that invoicing document gets created, it triggers the final step, a financial posting to FICA. Now, FICA is not your standard general ledger. This thing is a beast. It's a specialized subledger designed specifically to handle the massive scale of a subscription business, managing millions of open receivables, applying payments, handling collections, and even automating dunning notices for late payments. It's the industrial strength backbone for the whole financial process.
So if we tie it all together, the full journey looks like this. A customer order gets created in SOM. Their usage gets rated in CC. All the charges get grouped together in CI. And finally, the invoice is generated, which posts a receivable to FICA. And that's it. That's the complete journey from order to cash.
Okay, so we've gone pretty deep into the technical flow. But why does having an engine like this actually matter? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, the answer is that it's not just about billing. It's about enabling entirely new ways of doing business.
A system like BRIM gives a business some incredible superpowers. You get true charging flexibility, you can handle prepaid, postpaid, and hybrid customer models all in one place. You can manage complex multi-sided models, like settling payments with all your partners in a marketplace. You achieve true convergence. You can finally put every single charge onto one bill for the customer. And most importantly, you get the kind of scalability to handle transaction volumes that would literally cripple a traditional system.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. For so many companies, for so long, their ability to innovate has been held back by rigid, outdated billing systems. So the question is, when you remove that limitation, what becomes possible? It's not just about billing more efficiently, it's about having the freedom to actually go out and create the business models of the future.